Dr. Maurine Kwende, your podcast host, and you are listening to the Empowerment Minutes podcast. For those listening for the first time, it's really a podcast to empower you with nuggets on learning and development, training, leadership coaching, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. I am a learning leader, researcher, speaker, coach, consultant, author, and CEO and founder. Above all, I have had the honor to empower emerging leaders to become transformational leaders. So this includes instructional designers, first-time managers, supervisors, L&D professionals who desire to become better leaders. And I do this through my academy called the Dream Big and Bold Academy and through my coaching programs. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll be more than happy to help you. Just let me know. Shoot me an email on info@emklearningsolutions.com. Other than that, I would like to welcome you again. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. This month, we celebrated International Coaching Week on the week of May 14th. And so the rest of the month, we're still focusing on coaching, right? So in a previous episode, we defined coaching as a process, right, of helping others gain clarity towards goals, get unstuck, and moving forward. And coaching also being a process that focuses on the present, short-term goals versus the past, and looking at your vision and the future. So today's episode is focused on coaching models, how they can be leveraged for performance improvement. So have you heard about coaching models? First of all, what's a coaching model? Right? A coaching model is a method or process used to move your coachee or client or direct report from where they are to where they want to be. Just like any process you use to accomplish your daily task, coaching also has its own process, and it's used by all coaches, knowingly or unknowingly. So a coaching model provides a structure needed to ensure that coaching is effective. So now that we know what a coaching model is, why even bother using a coaching model? What are the benefits? There are quite a few benefits of coaching models, actually quite many. So first off, coaching models can benefit the client by providing the structure, and the structure also offers flexibility and a framework at the same time. The coaching model it creates a system through which the coach and the coachee, or the client, or the direct report work. So the coach uses the process pretty much, not the coachee. So they need it to make sure that they have a system in place to make sure that they can better serve the client. So even though it's a system, as a coach, you have to be flexible, right? It doesn't have to be rigid and be must be this kind of way thing. You can play with it around, just making sure that it suits your client or your direct report. So another benefit of a coaching model is visualization, right? We all know about the power of visualization. You have to be able to see it, to believe it, and take action. So it helps the coach see an unseen process. As a coach, you start with a vision, right? So, and you think about, where is this person right now? The person you're wanting to help. Maybe you're a leader, you're wanting to help your direct report. Where are they right now? And where do they want to be? Maybe, moving towards discovery or brainstorming, whatsoever you're wanting to work towards, right? It's important to visualize it first. The model also helps, the coach envision the system or the process, and that cannot be directly observed. It helps definitely provide some direction. So in summary, a coaching model is a framework, it's a structure, and it represents a system with an implied process or a framework. So now that we know what a coaching model is, we know what the benefits of coaching model are, and then let's look at the models themselves, right? So when it comes to coaching models, there's so many different types of models, right? You as a coach, sometimes you might use more than one model, right? Some people know they're familiar with the GROW model, some are familiar with the TOGORO model, some are familiar with the START model. There's just so many different types of model, depending also on the types of coaching. So some people might use a different model for executive coaching, might use a different model for life coaching. It all depends. And I would not say that there is a best coaching model out there. But today I'm just going to talk about a model that is, most people are familiar with, and that's the grow model. So you're a leader, you're thinking, okay, what model can I use to coach my direct reports? What model can I use to coach my team? And so the grow model is something that I encourage you to start with because it's pretty straightforward. Grow actually is an acronym. Grow stands for G stands for go, R stands for reality, O stands for options. It could also stand for obstacles, right? And then you have the W, that's the will or will do. So let's talk about the first one, the goal, right? So you're wanting to coach, coach your coachee or your direct report, right? Then they must have a goal. What's their goal, right? So what's their agenda? What do they want to talk about? So that's what the G, the goal, stands for, right? Sometimes, as a coach, you might have a client or a direct report that when you ask them, what they want to talk about or what their goal is, they might not even know. So you as a client, as a coach, then will be able to help walk them through it to get to a point where they're like, oh, okay, I can talk about this today. So once you figure out the goal, what the agenda is, then you go to the next step, which is the reality, the R, right? So for example, you want to lose weight. So what's happening now? What's your current reality, right? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? What's what do you want to see, right? So this option, this stage now, you want to look at what the current situation is from their goal or from their agenda. The next stage, we've talked about G, R, and then now we talk about the O, and then the option stage pretty much is the brainstorming stage, right? So what's going on, with this particular goal, right? Are you having any obstacles, right? Are you having some things that are preventing you from, getting there? What are some things that you can consider, right? So you can really look at so many options. You want to lose weight. Maybe maybe right now, how many hours are you exercising? What are your meal plan options? What are some things that you can consider? Some hours that you can free up just so you can make sure that you can achieve your weight loss goals. Put all those things in perspective. This is going to happen in the option stage. Now the last one is, okay, you've identified the options. The first one, you talk about the goals, talk about the reality, talk about the options, obstacles, come up with different options. Now, the last stage, the will do is where you're going to look at, okay, I've identified the options. These are some things that I know I can do. So if you're wanting to lose weight, you've been struggling or been on this journey and you want to lose maybe 20 pounds and you want to suddenly, start eating 300 calories a day, it's not going to happen, right? So you got to come up with something that you can commit to. And then so in this stage, you're like, okay, going forward, I'm going to be able to commit to 3 hours of exercise a week, for example. And these are some options that these are some things that I commit to do. And this is what your coach can hold you accountable and say, okay, I'm going to hold you accountable to do X, Y, Z. And the next time we meet, I'm going to be able to track your progress. Let me know, how it's going. And if you're having any challenges in between, here's some things I can do to help you out. So that's just a basic explanation of the grow model. And so as a coach, if you're using, or a leader, you're using the grow model, you can have this structure and then figure out, what are some questions that you can ask, your direct report or the client to go from one stage of the process to all the way to the end. Just so, you're helping them as much as possible. Remember, with coaching, you're not telling them the answers. You're just guiding them so they can gain clarity. The answer comes from them, not from you. You just so if you're used to telling, being a consultant, for example, or being someone who's driving the conversation, you got to be able to remember that you're here to help them find the answers within them. You're not here to tell them the answers, and you're here to listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying, right? So you can be able to help them even more to accomplish what's on their agenda. So I hope you found these tips useful. As a final thought, there are many coaching models. So knowing the model that works best would help you as a coach or leader stay focused and structured and committed to help the client succeed. So that's it for this week's podcast. To our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in again to this wonderful episode. I hope you found it useful. If you're considering using a coaching model, maybe you want to try using the GROW model. Let me know how it works for you and any other way that I can help. This weekend, we're having a workshop on leadership, about how to unleash the confident leader within you. So if you like to join the complimentary workshop, it happens on the last Friday of the month at noon. By all means, you can join us. Just shoot me an email at info@emklearningsolutions.com. And you can also join my private Facebook group, the DBBPA private Facebook group. So you can look it up on Facebook, or you can send me an email and I can invite you to join the group, and where you can join a community of other people who are serious about their personal and professional growth. So please share with your network. Be safe, be well. I'll see you same time next week. Thanks a lot and have a great day.